Welcome to Soundscape Crusaders,
a music discovery podcast where we pair music with meaning.
Join co-hosts
Nate
and Levi on this journey
as we dive deep and examine one song an episode,
discuss what we love about it,
and then pair it with something that emotionally
and tonally
coincides with the song.
Material Girl by Madonna.
Man, it's been a week.
And it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy that it's Tuesday. Because this is like what I look forward to. This is like something I actively look forward to every week, and I think it's improved my mood so much. Right. Because I'm like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like it's just something I'm doing that I enjoy, that I can look forward to. Right. Versus like, I gotta go to work.
Right. Well, you're also using like your creative side of your brain.
Yeah.
But for something that like you're under control of, or something that you have a greater say in, you know, than what you're doing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you been listening to anything cool? Any new podcasts or anything?
No. Yeah, nothing really, man. I'm just listening to my playlist and just
music.
Vibing with that. Yeah, just music right now. Just vibing with that.
That is. I go in and out of like heavy music, heavy podcast, heavy music, heavy podcast, back and forth.
Yeah. Sometimes
throw an audiobook in there.
Oh, I have been listening to a lot of Stephen King short stories, and some of those have been really, really good. So nice. I guess I've been doing that. So
did I tell you I bought Salem's Lot? I haven't listened to it yet.
Let me know when you listen to it.
But it's in my library now, so I'm serious about it.
Cool. Let me know. I'm not a huge vampire fan. Like I don't know. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But I like that story. I like that story a lot.
Yeah.
And I think you'll vibe with it too, because it's about a small town that descends into utter chaos. And you know, you grew up in a small town. Lindale's considered a small town.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like maybe relatable. I mean, it's a New England, small town versus like a Texas small town, but I assume they're similar.
I feel like New England small towns are cooler. That's just a guess.
Probably less racist.
Well, I feel like New England small towns have that like, I don't know.
They have that
pilgrimy
witch vibe.
Type. Yeah, like they have like history behind them, you know, like it's like we burned witches here, and it's like
we were here like day 5 of the United States, you know,
right?
Like some shit like that.
Yeah, whereas Texas, it's like, we became a town in like 1900.
Yeah, we're not that old.
Yeah, but oh well. I'm very excited about. I think this is the song that I was hoping that you would pick this week because I like this song. I mean, that's really the only way I can put it is that.
Yeah, that's a good song. It's a very good song.
I am over the moon about it. So, how about you tell me what it is? Tell everyone what it is. What song are we listening to this week?
So, so the song we're listening to this week is "Material Girl" by Madonna. So kind of following, back to back pop, female pop stars killing it, high to their game, slaying it. So,
yeah,
We're
That's
just going
really
back
the
a
only
little bit.
natural.
Yeah,
like
we're just going
Madonna,
back to the
Madonna
80s.
is like the OG, right?
I mean, if not the OG, she definitely like paved the way. Like she's very important. Even if like you don't like her music, for just like the progression of pop music as in and of itself, she is very important. Very, very important.
I feel like she definitely, at least in terms of my knowledge of her, she kind of created what we think of when we think of like the female pop star. Mm-hmm. Like the ultimate female pop star.
Yeah.
At least the modern understanding of what that is, right?
Yeah. I would say so. I would say she's she might have been like the first big one, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the first, like, the original mold of what a female pop star could be.
Were you in Binshoff's class when we talked about this?
Yeah, we did a whole unit or a whole day on Madonna music videos, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
That was a really fun day. Shout out to my mom. I knew about damn near all the lyrics because like that's all she played, or that's one of the things she played all the time. But also, I think before we kind of dive into other stuff relating to Madonna, I think Madonna is also pretty important because she like sung about kind of taboo things, whether it's like racism, like sexism. Like the song, like, well, even like teenage pregnancy, like the song "Papa Don't Preach" is, I want to say that's an allegory, or like that's about teenage pregnancy, which like really wasn't sung about.
Right.
Yeah, she's important enough because, yeah, she just talks about some like really, not really like taboo subjects. And did it like
heavy.
Very gracefully. Yeah, very heavy. She did it very gracefully too.
Which is interesting, you know, for like for like a top 40s type singer to talk about these heavy subjects and to tackle those heavy subjects.
Right.
That's a pretty crazy thing, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Like that, you know. People still do that, but you know, in the 80s, that probably was a really strong hurdle to jump over.
Probably. You know, it'd be interesting to like ask, I guess, kind of like my mom's a super, super huge Madonna fan. Yeah. Maybe that might be her favorite artist. But I can see why she grew up as like a teenager or like, you know, young adult in the 80s, and having her be like, you know, one of the top, you know, musicians or artists of the time, that's like pretty empowering, you know, to a woman growing up. I would love to like get her like opinion about like all this coming out, you know, all this music coming out, because like Madonna's music videos have a lot of like religious imagery, sexual imagery. You know, it's very provocative in a way too, like some of the stuff she sings about, and like that's like kind of relates why she's important, because she was like pushing those, like that envelope. She was pushing those boundaries. And make people feel like think it would on top of like enjoying it, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like it would be very interesting to hear that perspective of someone that, you know, like if your mom was at that exact prime age while Madonna was at her prime, you should call her. Call her. Ask her what her thoughts are. Mom, you're on mic right now.
I could.
Tell me what you think.
She'd answer. You want me to?
I dare you to.
You want me to?
You're on Soundscape Crusaders.
I'm straight up gonna. Well, we'll see if she answers.
She's gonna see it and be like, Nate's calling me. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't know we recorded.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
She probably won't answer. Or she's talking.
Dang.
She might call back in the next few minutes. She's really good about returning calls. So if she calls back, what do you think?
We'll pause it. Answer it. or well, not pause the recording, but we'll stop what we're talking about. Yeah,
but
pause the conversation.
But back to the conversation is like that's like so cool because you didn't really have you had soul artists and you had like really powerful female singers like with Aretha Franklin. Oh God, who else?
Right. Aretha Franklin was like a powerhouse.
Right.
Shirley Bassey.
Right. But I feel like none of those broke into the cultural zeitgeist of the time, you know? And I felt like they never achieved that status that Madonna like achieved.
What's the origins of pop music as we know it, you know, like when you consider like the sound, because like, you know, some of those examples that we threw out I would consider more of a classical type, you know, there's like big orchestra or just more of a classical sound versus like Madonna. You know, it's poppy, you know, in her very early stuff, she's got that more high-pitched voice.
Right. And it definitely like came down as she got older, but makes sense.
Yeah. Well, also she, from what I remember, and you probably do too, is that her first album, she, if I remember correctly, had no music training whatsoever. And then after that, like it blew up. And she was very dedicated to like training her voice to, and because of that, she kept doing that. And like, she maintained this consistency throughout her whole career because she stayed interesting and stayed, relevant, I guess.
Right.
So is that right?
I'm looking it up. Cause like I said, Like a Virgin came out in 1984 and that was her second record. I mean, I want to say, well, it looks like, okay, so it says her debut was 1983. So just a year before.
Yeah, because Material Girl, she still has that like very distinct voice, the higher pitched voice.
Right. I mean, the crazy thing is all the songs were written by Madonna. Like this, I think you might be right. Maybe not necessarily. Well, I'm looking it up.
Some of the details might be fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere along those lines. So
yeah, so it says she like
to be an expert.
No worries, man. She was in a band called the Breakfast Club, and then which was like hard rock apparently.
Really?
Yeah, and then so she left the band. She was just having trouble getting to a label, and then a label named Sire Records gave her a chance with two 12-inch singles. And then it looks like she just got into the studio and just, you know, did her her best. Like I said, like it looks here, it's like all songs are written by her, and they were produced by a man named Reggie Lucas.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. That's incredible.
But it looks like she busted her ass, and I mean her debut is fucking stacked.
Yeah. And so that her debut was not Like a Virgin.
No,
it's a different record.
Was her second record? Yeah,
was second, which was only a year later.
Yeah, but like
That's
talk about like
crazy.
a hell of a bounce back. Well, not even a bounce back because her debut was great, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I want to say it sold buttloads of records.
Yeah, and then you get to Like a Virgin, and I mean, let's just go ahead and dive into the song a little bit. The Material Girl is the second single from Like a Virgin.
That's the opening track of that record.
Wow. And
so talk about like grabs you and you just go.
Yeah, and it's poppy. Yeah. And the single was a global sensation according to Genius, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reaching top 5 in Australia, Belgium, Canada, Ireland, Japan, and the United Kingdom.
That's a lot.
Oh man. Okay. I already have something at the tip of my tongue. I got to think about it for a second.
You already have a pick? Fuck.
I'm like, I can't remember the title though, and
You're not choosing Gentlemen's Prefer Blondes, right?
that was what I was going to pick, but I'm not anymore because
yeah,
it's literally that's why it reminded me so much.
I was like, he's not thinking of Gentlemen's Prefer Blondes.
I was like, I was like,
it's like
so clear. I was like, I know exactly what it is. And then I see the image and I'm like, oh, they literally, like, that's what the music video is.
That's what Ben Schaaf talked about.
Okay, I guess that was like in the back of my mind somewhere.
Yeah, man. It was in your subconscious. You knew what you wanted.
Wow. Okay. That kind of blows my mind too, though. Because that's a fun movie. And
I've never seen it, but I've heard great things about it.
You should watch it. It's not like my favorite of all of them, but
it's isn't it Jane Russell as well? Isn't she?
Yeah, Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe. Mm-hmm. And I mean, clearly Madonna
is Marilyn.
She was heavily inspired by that, or not even inspired. She did this as an homage,
right?
Which it really is it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, that'd be cheating. I think if you chose.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be cheating. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to pick that, but I do think I already have something else.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I am.
How do you have something?
Yeah, I already have a couple ideas. I'm gonna have to narrow it down, but I know the direction I'm gonna go. But yeah, back to the song, Nate.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I mean, first off, let's talk about the beat. Let's talk about the tone. Would I be wrong to say that this song is, what's the word? Not full of itself, but confident. It's very confident. Like she's.
I think confidence is the best word you could use, because
yeah.
I mean, just the way she granted in the music video, you could see her physically, but I think even just in the song itself, just in the audio, she sounds confident, holds herself high, and puts herself in high regards. Yeah,
and not only that, she makes you feel confident.
Yeah, she makes you feel like a bad bitch.
Like, this song comes on and you're shaking your shoulders. You're like, oh, I can strut. I'm going to start strutting.
Right.
Like, why not?
I'm a material girl.
Strutting
Shit.
already.
Let's
Hell
go.
Yeah. I'm a material. It's like the end of V for Vendetta. I'm a material girl.
Right.
And you're a material girl. And you're a material girl. We are material girls.
Oh, material girl, my material girl. Nope, don't use that. That's that movie would not fit this song. Oh man.
But yeah, it's a bop. To put it in the most simple terms.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
I feel like
it's much fun.
We need like a not a Rotten Tomatoes certified fresh, but a soundscape sound.
Everything sounds good.
Yeah, we kind of like everything, but
we do. We're pretty easygoing. Yeah, we haven't hit something that one of us is I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah,
that's gonna be when it's good. I think that's when we're gonna like.
I don't know. I really like it when we both, because when I share a song with you, I'm usually trying to oh, I freaking love this song. I can't wait for Nate to hear it. You know. Even if you have heard it before.
Right.
So, I don't know. That'll be interesting. But so far...
it might not happen.
It might not.
It's also true,
I would consider us both open-minded enough to where it will be difficult. Mm-hmm. It will be difficult.
But we'll find something.
yeah, just, there are things, I don't like if you were like, oh, I'm going to pick something specifically, but I digress. Yeah. So, I mean, we pretty much, the tone is really easy to cover. It's
fun.
Confident.
It's so fun. And there is so much, like the self-esteem for this song is through the fucking roof. Is huge.
Who would you say is like the ideal candidate for this song? Like the ideal audience? Now, I'm going to preface that by saying I think everyone should love this song. Mm-hmm. And it expands beyond the intended audience.
Right.
But who do you think this song was made for? Like, describe the person this song was made for.
I don't know if it's like a song that can help a person exude more confidence or like put out more confidence or be more confident in themselves,
So can I throw some things in?
Yeah, butt in.
So if we just take a look at the lyrics, I think the lyrics will kind of help us figure it out. Mm-hmm. Because, like, okay, so the vibe I kind of get from the song is that, she is a person, all eyes on her. Mm-hmm. And a lot of men, like, do whatever they can to get close to her.
She is in the limelight. She's, like, super, super big in the limelight right now. Or at this time.
And men think that they can,
win her over with gifts and stuff.
Right. And she's reversing the system.
Right. It's also like she's saying, like, I don't need a man to buy me things. I can do this myself.
Yeah. And I think in a certain sense she's saying, like, I don't need it, but I'll absolutely, like,
yeah, fuck you, I'm taking it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of the music video, she's like, oh yeah, this guy gave me diamonds. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem into him, but she's like, I'll keep the diamonds, they look real.
Yeah. She's using the system to her advantage.
Right.
Which is, if guys are gonna try to
do that,
be slimy and stuff,
then she should get him.
Yeah, so you go, girl. Yeah. You go, Madonna.
So I think that'd be, it's could be seen as like a female empowerment anthem. Yeah. In a sense. So
and
I think that would probably be
I like what you said earlier about marginalized. Like
there's a reason she was she is. She's not was. She still is like an LGBTQ icon. There's a whole Wikipedia page on Madonna as a gay icon.
Yeah.
So she, in 2010 on the Ellen DeGeneres show, she reiterated how she became close to the gay community when she was a teenager, stating that she felt different in high school and found acceptance and sympathy among gay friends, particularly her dance instructor. She also said, in fact, I wouldn't have a career if it weren't for the LGBT community.
Yeah, and I think she's absolutely right.
Yeah.
You see Madonna songs featured a lot in that community, whether it's party or something else. And like, look, if you listen at if you look at the first verse, that pretty much takes this song and boils it down to.
Also, this is also important. Back in the 80s, the AIDS crisis was really, really big. Yeah. She was super big into AIDS activism. So, like, that's pretty important as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the stigma back then, like, people wouldn't even shake hands with someone that had it. So I feel like, her and others that helped that cause, did a great thing by
Yeah.
showing the world that it's okay.
Right.
So obviously her songs are going to like have their arms with their arms wide open.
Stop. You stop this.
Stop it. Get some help.
I could have. It just happened.
This is going.
I hate myself.
You should. You should.
Shit.
Oh my god.
God, I completely like threw myself off.
Yeah, you did. You bet your ass you did.
This song had its arms wide open for not only, you know, the specific literal person that this song is about, which is a woman who is, you know, being courted by many men. Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me, and she thinks they're okay. But
Right.
you know, if they don't give her proper credit, she just walks away.
Bye-bye.
So she's in control. She's in control at all times.
Yeah.
And I think that's
She runs this bitch. Sorry, I'm gonna edit that out. I don't know, man. She's just like super important, and I mean, I don't think I didn't care for her music as much when I was like littler, but like the older
Right.
I got, I was like, you know what, this shit's pretty good. This shit's pretty good. So
yeah, I mean,
kind of one of those things I had to grow out of as well. Not
yeah. So was your mom?
What's up?
Was your mom like playing it for you a bunch, and that's how you were hearing it when you were a kid?
Like growing up, my parents had I think I've told you this, but my parents had like a 6 CD changer, and they had a bunch of CDs. So they would do all these rotations. Just trying to think. AC/DC, Beatles.
Yeah, we talked
Dixie
about
Chicks,
the Beatles. Yeah.
Indigo Girls, Alanis Morissette, Melissa Etheridge, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Bob Seger. There was like all this stuff that they would just cycle through. And my mom is, like I said earlier in the episode, she is a huge Madonna fan. I think she's seen her like 4 times live.
Wow.
Like, she is dedicated. So a lot of stuff that was played was like her earlier stuff too. Because crazy thing is, she has a couple records in the 90s that are actually pretty good as well. Music is one of them that I think it's called Music. It's actually kind of good. Yeah, record's called Music, and it came out in 2000. So she even was like putting out good.
It's
shit.
called Music.
It's just called Music. The opening track or the title track is really good. I can't remember if it's the first one or not, but I remember that record coming out. My mom playing that a lot, because it was a good record, and yeah, I think it had a pretty good acclaim. I think it was well liked. The record before Ray of Light was liked a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good. Ray of Light was the one that came out, I think, 2 or 3 years prior, and that one was really good too. So there were still Madonna records coming out that would be kind of played at home. My mom would play them when she would like clean the house and stuff.
Right.
So it was kind of just one of those things we were like indoctrinated into.
Just completely exposed to.
Yeah, whether we wanted to or not.
So would you say it's kind of like your just the same experience with your Beatles? Because in our Beatles episode, you were talking a lot about.
I don't remember sorry.
No, just how you would hear the music a bunch.
Like, we didn't really hear it much. I don't remember it much in the car because I don't think my dad's really a fan. So he didn't really like play it, or he didn't really like listen to it.
Right.
But like, I don't remember it being in the car. I don't remember being on trips. So it would be more like on my mom's time when she would like just be her. It's when we would kind of hear it more.
Okay.
So, like, when I think of Madonna, I, like, definitely equate it to my mother. For sure.
Okay.
Like, Prince, I would equate to her as well.
That's great. I mean, my experience is a little different because I don't think I really listened to her.
One? Yeah.
Yeah. No, really, my first exposure, I think, was in college because I just was never around people that listened to Madonna.
Right.
Through my formative years.
Oh, she's calling. You want me to answer?
Is she? Yeah, answer it. Answer it.
Hello?
Hey!
Do you have some time? Do you have a little bit of time?
Sure, what's up?
So, I don't have to include this in the episode, but Levi and I are doing a talk about Madonna.
Okay.
And we, obviously we're male, so we have a different perspective. But she was kind of coming up when you were like a young adult, correct? Hello?
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 Hello, I lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, did you hear my question? Or did you hear what I... Okay, so...
I heard that you guys are talking about Madonna and you have the male perspective.
Right. And she came out, like her startup was really when you were like a young adult, correct?
Yeah, it was when I was in high school.
So, like, how was that, like, growing up in high school, like, seeing a female pop star just, like, dominate in, like, a male-dominated industry? Like, how was that?
Amazing. Amazing.
Because that's like a big deal. Like, that's why she's, like, because we were talking about earlier in the episode that she is, like, super important, whether to, like, females.
And I saw her in concert in 1985.
Okay.
And it was the Like a Virgin tour.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been what? Like a Virgin was 84, right?
Huh?
Okay. Like a Virgin was 84, right? That record.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was third row floor at Dallas Stadium, the old Cowboy Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unreal.
Right.
And I remember it. I could see it in my brain.
You were that close.
I was that close.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah. Ask her what drew her to Madonna. Like, why did she...
Like, it had to have been, like, exciting watching a female just kind of, like, really stomp the charts. But, like, what...
Yeah, it was exciting that she did it. I think for me, it was exciting that someone went to New York with very little money, created and wrote her own music, and created this persona of herself. I mean, she got kind of weird after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it was seeing somebody make it in an industry that was male-dominated.
Right.
Yes.
Because that's right. She wrote that first record all by herself because she was having troubles signing with anyone, right?
Yep. She had $35 in her pocket from Michigan, went to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wanted to be a dancer.
I think she... Because we were reading why... We were reading all this stuff about her, doing some research. One of the reasons we were looking up some stuff was that she's a huge, like, LGBT ally. Okay. And she grew up as a dancer, and, like, her dance instructor was gay. It was, like, super accepting of her and all that stuff. But, so would you say that's why you were drawn to Madonna? Was because...
I just loved the music.
Mm-hmm.
It was dancing music. It was music that you could sing to and understand the words and resonate with the words.
Right.
And they had meaning. They had meaning to women.
Right.
Very empowering.
Right. That's what Levi brought a really good point. Like, the one word he thought of for Material Girl, because that's the one we're talking about, is that it's just confident. It's super confident.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I'm here and I'm going to make it and I'm going to do it on my own. I don't need a man to do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, Mom. We appreciate that.
You're welcome. You are very welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
I hope that audio came out well. I'll ask her if we can.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear it clearly. And I think that was a fun perspective to hear, because at the end of the day, we are two millennial men.
Yeah.
So we don't know what it was like. We don't know what it means, especially given our perspective of, what, the what do you call it?
Socioeconomic. No, socio
the modern understanding versus 20, 30 years ago.
Right. I guess
is very different.
Because like she said in the call, it was male dominated. It was very male dominated. And to see her just kind of break through and kill it, that had to have been that's a big deal to girls everywhere. That was cool. That was cool having my mom come through.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. I hope she's okay with it being in the episode, because I'd love to hear that.
Like I said, my mom loves Madonna. So
yeah,
she was.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was in it.
I could hear her. Yeah, I could hear she was like, "Fuck yeah!" She's awesome.
Yeah. Well, she was on the Like a Virgin tour. That's her second record, so she was probably in it from the debut.
Right. Well, I mean that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we covered Madonna quite a bit. Is there anything else we can say about the song other than we both freaking love it?
I will say this was one of those songs I listened to a lot growing up. And like I said, I was really not as keen on Madonna as I am now. But this was one of those that I'm like, I like this one. This was one of those I was like, this one is so good. Even as a kid, I didn't like this one.
I mean, immediately, because like I was saying before, my experience with Madonna is pretty much nothing. I just I knew she was a pop star. I knew she was one of the big ones, kind of like Britney Spears or Jessica Simpson. I don't know.
Was Jessica Simpson big?
I think so.
Dude, I don't know.
That's just what I was thinking. At that time in my life, I knew who Britney Spears was, and I knew who Britney Spears was, and I knew who Jessica Simpson was. So I was like, Madonna's probably like that. And it wasn't until college that I actually sat down and listened.
Mm-hmm. Was it that Benshoff class? Was that the first time you ever listened to Madonna?
Yeah.
Wow. I knew all those. I knew all the fucking words, man. The whole time I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know this one.
And dude, that was such a great introduction to an artist. Just being sitting down in a classroom setting, and someone's just videos. Here's Madonna. Here's where she started. Music video. And then here's how she evolved. Music video.
I'm trying to think of the ones she did. What were the other ones he did? I think he did Like a Prayer, because that has a lot of religious imagery, because she's praying in a Catholic church or something, and there's a lot of religious figures. Doesn't Madonna the Word have something there's something biblical about it, correct?
Yeah, I believe, and I'm not Catholic, so
it is a Catholic
grain of salt, but it's the Mary, the Mother Mary, I think.
Okay.
I think that's another word for that or something. So if we're gonna have another Madonna talk, I think we're pretty good right now. So I think we go on to picks.
That's fine with me, man. We got a lot to work with.
Yeah. So do you have anything in mind, or do you wanna go first or last?
I want to go last. I'm still struggling. I have a few ideas, but I don't know if anything's really sticking. So
yeah.
And you sounded confident. Well, that's before I said don't choose gentlemen's.
Well, yeah, that was before I realized. So I have a couple ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I definitely wanted to go in the same route as the inspiration behind the song, just because that burned itself into my mind, just how they did a great job of recreating that scene from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Yeah.
It's gorgeously photographed. And so I want to go with something from that general era. The only problem is I'm a little stuck. So I initially was thinking maybe I'll do a Marilyn Monroe movie.
Okay.
And while I like that, I'm not going to do that. Because I feel like it's still a little too on the nose.
Okay.
So I'm going to branch out a little bit. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into picks.
Yes. We're ready.
So,
what you pick? Tell us.
Yeah, my pick. So I was thinking about Marilyn Monroe, but I felt like that was a little too on the nose. But I wanted to get something from the same time period. And I was like, well, you have the similar type of bombshell.
Make sure you have your trailer pulled up.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay.
You have the similar type of bombshell women, right?
Right.
So I could have gone with Anita Ekberg or Grace Kelly. They're known for their beauty, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like that was right because I couldn't find a movie that either A, I knew well enough, or B, fit what we were looking for at all.
Right.
So I swiped that away because none of them felt right. And then I started thinking about someone else. Someone that instead of the brash beauty, I don't know if that's the right way to explain it, but like Marilyn Monroe is more of a, I would say probably loud beauty. Like she's big, go big or go home type thing. She's not big. She's like, you know what I mean? Like
she's huge. Good God. Just see the size of her. But all right. What were you saying, bud?
She's more of a loud type personality, I feel like, in terms of whatever. Loud and proud, confident, right? And I could have gone that direction, but instead I was like, what if we go find someone that's a little more, but has like a quiet confidence in what she does. So I was stuck in between a few Audrey Hepburn movies. I love Audrey Hepburn. She's
great.
She's a wonderful actress. She is just she absolutely exudes elegance. And is just another one of those stars that has absolutely pushed boundaries and accomplished things that at one time women could only dream of, or anyone. But so I had to pick something that she's done, right? So one movie that came to mind that I want to just honorable mention is 1957 Funny Face, which is a musical comedy.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I really like that movie, and even though like this, like it was the number 2 pick for me, right? Like I was really close to picking it, but I didn't think that her personality in that movie really matched what we're going for with this song. So
you don't think so? Well, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, just not quite, right? And then another one came up, and it's very close to, but it's not quite right, and that's My Fair Lady. Just not quite what I've you know, she has
Also
a
a good
louder
one.
type personality. Yeah, fantastic movie. I love that movie. Anyone who has, you know, just spent their life like away from that movie, because it took me a long time to like get to actually seeing that, and once I did, I was like, oh my gosh, why did I wait so long to see that movie? And I don't know, it's just one of those classics that you're kind of intimidated by watching, right? But at the end of the day, that's not my pick either. So instead, don't click that link yet. Instead, I decided that I think the one that really fits the bill is a nice little film that's one of her most classics. Like this song is one of Madonna's classics. This movie is one of Audrey Hepburn's classics, if not the classic. You know, one. It's a big one, and that is, of course, Blake Edwards' romantic comedy Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Won't you join me?
Yes, join Audrey Hepburn as you've never seen her before, kicking over the traces and bringing to life Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I never could do that.
Audrey Hepburn as Holly Golightly, who typifies and glorifies the glamorous playmates of this dizzily...
You love to see it. You love to see it. It's a great
movie. Yeah,
Very
right?
good movie. Very good movie. If not her best. One of the best originally written songs for a movie ever. Moon River is like
Oh yeah.
the most beautiful piece of music ever. I love that song. Okay.
It's such a wonderful movie, and
It's so
like
good. It fits so well. Good job.
I get chills just thinking about that movie.
Good
I get
job.
chills just
I
thinking
love
about
it.
that movie. I
You
love
love to
this
see it.
movie. I'm like convincing myself right now that actually I want to watch that right now.
Dude, I'd watch it too.
Oh, jeez, man. Beautiful, beautiful movie. So let's watch the trailer real quick.
She's so good in it. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Dude,
watch the trailer
okay.
real quick so we can
Okay.
talk about the plot. What?
All I'm gonna say is we have another good double feature.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we have another good double
brother.
feature. All right, ready?
Dude, okay. Are you zeroed out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful movie.
Good movie.
So yeah, basically, I mean, to sum up the movie, the one downside of not preparing and doing this, you know, winging it,
Yeah, off the cuff
is-
shit. Yeah.
yeah, is that, you know, we don't have these movies as fresh on memory.
Yeah.
And so that's the one downside of this, is that it's
the
like,
whole
oh,
yellow
man,
face
like
thing.
yeah, well, that is the one
Oh,
big
okay.
downside of this movie. But just in terms of like gushing about what we love about it,
Right.
I just, yeah, I wish I had it fresh on mind. But anyway, okay, so basically this is based on a novel starring Audrey Hepburn.
It's
George
Truman Capote's,
Capard.
right? It's Truman
Yeah.
Capote, right?
Yeah, and then directed by Blake Edwards. The novel is called Breakfast at Tiffany's, so if you like to read, that might be an interesting one. I might get that for my wife. I wonder if she'd like that.
What? Something from
Anyway.
Tiffany's?
Breakfast at Tiffany's is the name of the
movie?
book.
Oh, the book. Gotcha.
The movie and the movie.
The book's great.
But anyway, It's the story of a young woman in New York City who meets a young man, and when he moves into the same apartment building as her, she's with an older, rewind. Tried to do the Jim Carrey thing. He is with an older woman who is very wealthy, but he wants to be a writer, and she is working as an expensive escort and searching for a rich older man to marry. So that's if you Google the movie, that's what comes up, which is a pretty good summary of what happens. It's and there's a lot of themes of wealth in the movie. I mean, it's called Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Tiffany's is expensive.
Right. And
expensive jewelry.
So like the theme of the whole movie, I feel like fits with this Madonna song so well.
It's a really good pick.
It just works.
It's two people who fall in love and trying to make it in the big city.
Yeah.
They're down on their luck. Started from the bottom.
And they're trying to find those. They're being material girls, dating the wealthy people. Even the man is being a material girl. Papard. Yeah, they're being material girls, both of them.
Shame.
But they find each other. And, it doesn't even have to be spoilers because it's all about the journey. And wait, do they stay together?
I think they get together at the end. I know they hug at the end or embrace.
Oh, yeah.
She goes after him, right? Because she's gonna go leave with it's Jose, I think is his name. I had to pull up the cast list. She's gonna get with him, right? But she had to move away out of New York. And he was like, nah, fuck that. Be with me. And she's like, no, fuck you. And then he's going to look for, I think it's one of the cats, I think.
Yeah.
I think the cat's...
He
cat
gets
named
out.
Cat? Isn't the cat named Cat? Isn't it just very generic?
I think so. Here's the link. Do you want to watch that together, or is that too much?
Sure. It doesn't matter.
Minutes.
Oh, I've already started it.
Let's...
Oh, this is from the trailer.
Oh, yeah, he says that in the trailer. Okay,
and he's like,
3.
I want to own you. And she's like, bitch, you can't own people. I hope you make
3.
that into a TikTok because that shit's funny.
You should. Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Or wait, I should.
No. I'll
wait. You're editing this.
This is my episode. I'll hold.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, bitch. Do it, bitch. Okay, ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. We'll stop there. She what happens? She
She's
gets
a change
out.
of heart. She runs after. What's his name? Bill.
What's his face?
No, Paul. She runs after Paul. Because Paul's looking for the cat. Looking for Cat.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just a sweet movie, and I really think anyone could find enjoyment in it. It's just a if you just want to know what it's like to feel happy.
I don't know why I laughed like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not even going to talk about it a bunch. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should. But everyone knows about it. It's not like I'm picking a super deep cut. But if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's now obviously it's a movie from the 60s, so there is the portrayal of the landlord. Is it the landlord?
Yeah, it's her landlord.
That's you're gonna find that, and that's a little tough, but
it's kind of racist.
If you can get if you can get past that, I
but
think,
if I remember correctly, he's only in like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
not a
never comes
constant
back.
presence.
He never comes back.
It's distasteful, but
Yeah.
the rest of the movie is a wonderful little film.
And I mean, Mickey Rooney, you know, he's a good actor, or he was a good actor,
Right.
but yeah, it just wasn't. It's
yeah,
just one of
but
those things that like does not age well at all, and is what it is.
And we just want to make sure, I guess, people are aware of that before, you know, look, you know, just finding that if they haven't seen it. But yeah, the rest of the movie is a wonderful movie, and that's my pick because I think thematically it fits, just because the aspects of materials versus you know, love and and yeah, it's even kind of inspired by the same time period of movies where, you know, golden age type Hollywood movies. So yeah, that's my pick. It's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
It's a really good pick.
Do you have anything picked yet? Like, are you settled?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm ready. Let me send the trailer over. I don't know how you feel about this movie, but don't open the link. Okay, so how would you describe the way you went? You went more thematically and kind of even mirroring almost the music video, because the music video is paying homage to Gentlemen's Prefer Blondes, which is a scene where Marilyn Monroe sings, "It's diamonds are a girl's best friend," right? And there's a whole little act where she's on like this pink staircase. The music video pays direct homage to that. It is literally like an exact replica.
And both versions are gorgeous sequences.
Very much so. So you went the way more thematically and even like lyrically with a girl doesn't need the material things.
Right.
So the way I went is kind of, this harkens to, whether we use it or not, to what my mom said about Madonna, how she was confident, you know, very important to females.
Yeah.
You know, seeing a female dominate or do well in a male-dominated industry. So I'm kind of thinking of, okay, let's go the route of female characters that are empowering or do big things. So I am going with a movie that came out in 2001. And also, I think the song itself, we said it's confident, but it's also really fun. And I think this movie also echoes that sentiment. I think it's a very fun movie. Plus, there is like confidence in it as well. So the movie I'm going with came out in 2001. It's an American comedy film starring Reese Witherspoon. And the movie I chose is Legally Blonde.
One of the reasons I wanted to come here tonight was to discuss our future.
Of course.
I plan on running for office someday.
Warner.
I think we should break up.
What?
Elle. If I'm gonna be a senator, I need someone serious.
I'm seriously in love with you.
I love you.
Liar! This is the type of girl that Warner wants to marry. I'm lost. Going to Harvard is the only way I'm gonna get the love of my life back.
Like I said, good double feature.
God.
Yeah.
This episode is going to make some women in my life very happy.
Oh, it's a great movie.
This is such a great, this is fantastic.
This is a great movie. I really like this movie. I'm not pandering here, Levi. I really like this movie.
Oh, yes, that's perfect. It's a perfect pick.
I have the trailer pulled. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, This is a good double feature. I have the trailer pulled up. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Clicking. Let me zero out. Okay. Like this song could be in that movie.
It could.
Like 100%.
It easily could.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
like,
so
I think, like,
perfect.
the first half of the movie kind of, like, goes against, like, the following the materialistic thing. You know, kind of like, I don't need that. Because she's obviously chasing someone. She's chasing... So, for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, it stars Reese Witherspoon as Elle Woods. And, like, the opening scene is her getting broken... Like, she's getting dumped by her long-term boyfriend. And she gives him all this, like, kind of BS information saying, like... Or this BS excuse saying, hey, we got to break up because I want to be a senator. You're, like, not the senator type. She takes major offense to it, applies for Harvard Law School, and gets in. And then she goes through all these antics. People don't trust her. People are like, oh, you're just going to fail out. And then there's a point in the movie where she gets invited to a Halloween party, but they say it's a costume party. No one else is wearing a costume. She comes in this, like, pink bunny outfit. And she's getting made fun of all that. And this is, like, where I think, like, the confidence really turns it up to, like, 11. And she is like, fuck these people. I'm going to kick ass. And does a great job. And even, like, solves a murder case. Like, she gets the murderer to admit on stand that, hey, I killed my dad, I think is who.
Yeah.
I think that's right. But yeah, she becomes this great lawyer, and it's such a fun movie, and it's fun to watch this character start off as kind of like quote unquote blonde. Like, she's seen as ditzy, naive, all these like negative things, and she flips the script. She's like, screw y'all, I'm gonna kick ass, and she kicks ass.
You know why I think this is a perfect pick?
Why?
I think this is a perfect pick because, okay, you think about the song Material Girl. Mm-hmm. She is someone that completely owns who she is, right?
Yeah.
She's like...
she is like... Yeah. Not into herself, but she knows who she is and she loves it.
Yeah, and she's so confident about it. And she uses that self-awareness to her advantage, which is like, bad bitch type energy.
Truth.
Yeah, and then you have this, and the wonderful thing that this movie does that it could have gone the completely wrong direction is the transformation scene, where you take someone who is, in a lot of movies it's like, oh, they're like goth, and then they start wearing pink dresses when they become good, right? Or in this case, I think it would have been very easy for them to, she's the ditzy blonde that loves fashion and all these other things. And then when she decides to like go to Harvard or whatever, or whenever the climax of the movie is, they could have been like, oh, now she's like not into fashion as much and she's wearing a ponytail or something, and like
she's
they could
definitely
have
true to her character.
Yeah, but instead they were like, no, she's gonna like, go through her character arc, but maintain who she is the whole time. Like, just because
her core still stays intact, and I think that's what's so great about it. I think it's written really well.
Yeah, and so like I could see her at the end of the movie, like with Material Girl playing, and like her having just won the day.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's like and then the credits start rolling, like freeze frame. She's like walking, and it's like
what I love so much about Legally Blonde is just it would be, if I was a film professor, it would be the best movie to use to really highlight the structure of a film. Like exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. Like, it's so succinct in what it is, but it's written so well. Even though someone who, if that was their first class ever, like on how to dissect a film, could pull it out, but that doesn't hinder it. It's still so good. It's so enjoyable. Elle is such a charming character. I think like just Reese Witherspoon chews it up. Like she takes that character and like just ramps it up, and she does such a good job. And like I said, I think the movie coincides with the Madonna song. It even coincides with Breakfast at Tiffany's. You have these really like these powerful women that are confident within themselves. Granted, Audrey Hepburn at the end of Breakfast at Tiffany's kind of has like a quote unquote coming to Jesus moment, but she's true to herself even up to that point.
Yeah.
There can be some character development. That's fine, but as like their cores are still intact and strong as ever. So. Yeah,
and that's so great that they did that. And I mean, you were right. It is a tight movie. It is tightly written.
Exposition, boom, she gets broken up. Rising action, gets to Harvard. Climax,
you get in and out.
Party. Yep. The editing is so on point. The writing is so on point. Like the flow of the movie is just bam, bam, bam. But that doesn't take away at all at how good it is. It's such a good movie.
I believe this movie can and probably does get written off a lot as like a dumb comedy,
which
or like fair. A dumb ditzy comedy or whatever. In the same way that the main character is, which is like such an ironic thing. Like it's so crazy to me, but because I'm pretty sure I did that. And then I watched it and I was like, holy shit.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I remember when it came out as a kid. Yeah, it doesn't drag at all. It is punch. It just, it's punch, punch, punch. And you're just in it. I remember when I was 8 years old when it came out. You would have been, what, 6?
Something like that.
I just remember owning it.
Something like that.
I remember my mom owned it on DVD, so I remember seeing it pretty young. And I remember enjoying it just because it's fun to watch her just like, it always sucks, like even as a kid, like watching the movie, like when you're getting made fun of or you get teased, like that's always going to suck.
Yeah.
But watching her come out of that even stronger and winning, and not just winning, but dominating the playing field is badass. Yeah. And that, hats off to the writer who, I'm going to look up who wrote this. So it's Karen McCullough and Kirsten Smith wrote Legally Blonde. So hats off to them. I know it's based off of a book. It's based off of a novel as well. But hats off to those screenwriters. Those ladies did a fucking great job. It's a great movie. Highly recommend it. Don't write it off. It's so good.
I cannot love this pick more, and also the double feature in general.
The double feature would be great.
I totally get your excitement now.
Yeah.
Because that is...
When you picked that, I was like, hell yeah, we have such good picks.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Wasn't this great? Because, like, we both knew the song already, but we had the equal amount of excitement, and we both knew both movies and had an equal amount of excitement for that.
We were hyped. This is nice. This is nice having it where we're like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Right.
Like, it sounds good. Like, this was great. This is great. Oh, man. We don't, this doesn't have to be part of the episode, but, like, do you remember when you first saw Legally Blonde? Because I know for me, for Breakfast at Tiffany's, it was college. I saw it later in college. Like
it was probably it was probably late college, maybe even after I got out of college.
Legally Blonde?
Like Legally Blonde, yeah.
Yeah. Did Lauren not indoctrinate you into it?
Well, she did, and that's how I eventually watched it. But I just didn't ever think to watch it. And like when it did come out, I had no interest in movies like that. I only needed the cool movies, and then I watched this.
Only like RoboCop.
Awesome. Right.
No, dude, I'm really glad. I'm really glad you like this movie because, like, it's so good. It's so fun, and I like. I want to say like it did well in the box. Yeah. Oh Jesus, it did very well in the box office.
Right.
Yeah. 141
Yeah, they
million.
They made a couple, like at least one sequel, maybe two.
I have not seen any of the sequels, so
I don't know if I have either.
I was like,
but I know I've seen the first.
The first is so good. I always love the scenes with Jennifer Coolidge, her hairstylist, who's in love with the UPS man, but she can't talk to him or whatever. That shit is
she's always funny. She's always funny.
Jennifer Coolidge is a great actress. Absolutely funny. Man, I'm so glad you like this movie.
I am very stoked about this episode, and I'm stoked about the Britney Spears episode.
Yeah, these were good back-to-backs. Yeah,
like I'm so excited about everything. It almost like I'm like, oh, I want to post more. Right. Like I want people to hear these, and it's so hard being restrained.
Right. But I would love to have gauged your reaction the first time you saw that Madonna music video, for Material Girl, at Benshoff. I would love to gauge your reaction.
I feel like we were sitting beside each other.
I think we were, and I'm pretty sure no one else was if I remember correctly, because we sat kind of high up, no one else was really into it. You could tell when someone's mouthing the words.
Yeah,
and I felt I was am I the only one that knows this shit? What the fuck?
I was just dumbfounded the whole time. I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. And the music videos were all of the music videos have amazing production value.
Yeah. The imagery and just the colors and the choreography is just all phenomenal. It was so meticulously thought out. It's just there's something brilliant about her. And I very much think she is super important, whether you like her if there's one thing I can get across in this episode, whether you like her music or not, she is very important to the history of music and the history of pop for sure. She's very important. They can't gloss over her.
Yeah, she's an incredible music figure, and love it.
Great episode, dude.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah, I don't know much more I can say.
Yeah, if we keep talking, you're gonna be editing for a while.
There's gonna be a lot.
But that's okay. They're getting. I like doing that, so I like listening back.
No, they're fun, dude. They're fun to listen to. They're fun to listen to when I drive to work.
Yeah,
they're really fun.
Yeah, I'm going full podcast. I'm listening to other people's podcasts and
taking pointers,
stuff like that. Yeah, because I'm thinking at least podcast people, if you just talk good about podcasts, maybe they'll be like, oh, this guy's a cool guy. Oh, he has a podcast in his bio. So I'm just getting really into it.
I guess I should change my Twitter bio on. I'll start. One half of Soundscape Crusaders is going to be my bio. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter at Sound Crusaders, and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Soundscape Crusaders. Until next time. John, I'm not going to shoot you between the eyes. I'm going to shoot you between the balls.